There is a lot of speculation and indeed anxiety amongst many Kenyans over the Maribe case, which means that there will be a lot of anticipation and indeed suspense over what the court will decide on Tuesday. That is the date when the court will rule over the bail application of TV news anchor Jacque Maribe and her fiancé, Joy Rungu. So what is this anxiety all about? Is it justified? We shall take a deeper look at all that in this video. A very warm welcome. Now the truth is, there have been a lot of very strange, bizarre developments in connection to this Monica Kimani murder case. A lot of unprecedented, never before things have unfolded in this murder trial. For starters, we saw for the first time in the history of criminal law and our courts in Kenya, an NGO applying to a court to be enjoined in a murder trial. This is common in political cases and civil suits, but never before has it been seen in a murder trial, not in our country. Justice James Wakianga, of course, struck it out, saying that the NGO had not made it clear as to their motive or reason for wanting to be enjoined in the trial. Now, this NGO, which is headed by a Jubilee politician, has told us that they want to make sure that justice is done and the right suspects to the murder of Monica Kimani face justice. Now, without any elaboration, which this NGO has not given, that is very vague. But perhaps that was the whole intention right from the beginning, to come up with something vague, and maybe the whole purpose was to gain publicity and the attention of the public. But why would they want to do this? What is their end game? Well, that remains a mystery. But the controversy surrounding this trial has not ended there. We witnessed in court the appearance of controversial Gatundu South legislator Moses Kuria, who had a word with Jacque Maribe. Actually, they had a very animated discussion, and we don't know what they discussed. But even before Kenyans could recover from this, we had another real biggie in court to show support to Jacque Maribe. Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja made an appearance and again exchanged words with Jacque Maribe and had a discussion. Now, in case you're not aware, Johnson Sakaja is one of the most powerful politicians we have in the country today. This man has the ear of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Indeed, this is the kind of man who makes calls and things happen, big things. And this is the visit which had a lot of close observers very anxious and very worried. Of course, some of these biggies can give an excuse and say that they're there in their private capacities as personal friends of Jacque Maribe. However, there's one thing you need to keep in mind. These powerful people can have access at any time, indeed unlimited and fettered access, to the cells and even to the remand prisons where these individuals are being held, where Jacque Maribe is being held. But instead, they choose to make appearances in crowded courtrooms full of the press, and cameras rolling. Why? And indeed, this is a deep mystery when you consider the character of a man called Johnson Sakaja. Bwana Sakaja is a very humble and assuming man. In spite of the power and influence he wields, this is a man who normally does these things quietly, or to quote the Kenyan expression, chini ya maji. In other words, this is not the kind of man who would make a public display for nothing. usually is a very deliberate person, and if he does something like this, there's usually a very good reason. And this is what has deepened the mystery even further. What is really going on here? Then recently, something else has happened. Royal Media Services, who owns Citizen TV, came up with a statement that they distributed to newsrooms. The statement revealed that the media house had vouched for the employee, Jacque Maribe, in court, strongly supporting her being released on bail. Now this is a big one. Media houses normally guard their images very, very closely. And they're also very sensitive, hypersensitive, to public opinion and the feelings of the public. And quite rightly so. Their success, as a media house, heavily depends on goodwill from the public, heavily depends on having the right image with the public. And so the right play, is exactly what they've been doing. You remain very quiet when a trial of this magnitude is ongoing. And you await the determination of the court, because court decisions are very unpredictable. And as a media house, you do not want to end up on the wrong side of that judgment, because it could very easily impact on your image and reputation, in the eyes of the public, because all that matters here is perception. One wrong move and you end up with the wrong perception in the eyes of the public, and you're out of business as a media house. That is really the reality. And that's not all. Those who know the Chief Executive Officer of Royal Media Services, Bwana Wachira Waruru, know that he's a very cautious man, and quite rightly so. I mean, the man took over Royal Media Services when it was a struggling media house, and today he has lifted it to great success. That did not happen by accident. And so, when you get the Royal Media Services issuing a very firm statement of support, for Jacque Maribe to be released on bail, it is really shocking. To cap it all, the behavior of Jacque Maribe and Joy Rungu in court, in their last appearance, left very many Kenyans baffled. Even as the prosecution applied to have the charges against them edited, adjusted to include the words murder committed with others, not before the court. Even as all these developments were going down, the pair behaved as if everything was just great. In sharp contrast, to their previous appearances, in this last one, they appeared to be in a party mood. Joy Rungu was giving high fives, waving to people, making gestures. Jacque Maribe was laughing and smiling all over the place. It just left a lot of people baffled. The big question which came to the minds of many Kenyans was, is there something that these people know that we don't know, that the rest of Kenyans don't know, that the public does not know? Or what is really going down here? Joy Rungu was in a particularly good mood, and within the very limited space he had at the dock, he was moving up and down all over the place, He looked like he was going to burst into song, joyful song, at any minute. Of course, all this was happening when the court was not in session, but still, it just left people wondering, are these people really on the dock, facing very serious murder charges? Or what is really going on here? Now, when you add this behavior to everything else we have just mentioned, visits by VIPs in court to show support, and so on and so forth, you can now begin to understand why Kenyans are very anxious, and very worried, and waiting with a lot of anticipation to see how the judge will rule over the bail application of the two. Now, it is worth noting that the prosecution have very early said that they are going to strongly oppose the two suspects being released on bail. The lawyer representing the family of Monica Kimani in the same court, the late Monica Kimani, has also said the same, that they will very strongly oppose bail being given to the two. Now it is interesting that Migori Governor Okoth Obado was faced with the same obstacles when he recently applied for bail, but he still ended up being successful. The court granted bail even though he was given a long list of conditions, very strict conditions, but he got bail. Now to be fair, murder trials are normally very long processes. They take months. Depending on the number of witnesses lined up, it could even extend to over 1 year in court. Now you can imagine an innocent person being incarcerated for that long, being punished in that way for a crime that later on the court may find them not guilty. And this is one of the reasons why bail is a constitutional right. However, it is still subject to the circumstances surrounding the individual case. Therefore, a judge can decide to give it or not to give it. And they will always give reasons. Sometimes they'll just say that the prosecution has convinced them that the reasons for not releasing somebody on bail are compelling. And that is the reason why very many Kenyans are waiting with bated breath to see what the decision of the court will be on Tuesday. Until next time, this is Kshs, Kumekucha.